Hey everyone, it's Chris from Krisis Gaming, and this week we're stepping away from Fallout to find out if you can beat Sniper Elite 2 without using a sniper. I've seen other weapons in this game, so surely we can use those to get by, but comment down below if you think it's possible, and let's get into the run. Upon starting the game, we're thrust into the tutorial, and while it does explain things like planting mines and setting up traps, we're not going to be doing any of that. But I wasn't prepared for the end of the tutorials. See, our main objective here is to take out two key members of a V2 rocket program. Only issue is, you have to use your sniper here. You can't swap weapons, you can't use grenades, and the game will literally only let you aim and shoot. So I took out two guys discussing their favorite early 2000s pop punk bands, and within the very first part of the game, we can go ahead and say that this challenge cannot be done. But since it's only the tutorial, what about the rest of the game? Considering I was only like 3 minutes into the run, I wanted to see if the rest of the game was like this. Making it out of the level was pretty easy after that, a lot of mowing down people with my Thompson and running for the exit. Next mission had me run up to some blown up ruins and learn tons of German soldiers. I repeated this a little further in, and all I've got to say is, why does it take so many machine gun bullets to kill these guys, but 2 pistol shots is enough? Moving on, I had to set up some explosives to stop a convoy housing a VIP, and then came a true test of aim. See, I had to hit those explosives I had just planted, and the MP40 I was using wasn't the most accurate weapon. But after a couple of attempts I was able to stop the convoy. Now I just had to go down and retrieve some documents from my target while dodging a tank. But once the documents were collected, it was a run straight for the exit. Now I was on to a sabotage mission, and by sabotage, I meant blow up a German-occupied facility. The beginning of the mission involved sneaking around while planting bombs, and the silenced pistol here was doing work. I didn't really have to fight too much until I got spotted by some guards while listening to some questionable music. I now had to fight my way out while all of the explosives went off. Not gonna lie, I died here a handful of times, mainly did not a whole lot of cover and there being a decent amount of enemies, but eventually I did make my way through, and much like earlier, it was a mad dash running straight for the end. The next mission was the museum, and I'm not a fan of this one, but I'll wait till we get there to show you why. For the most part, the early parts of the level were just taking out people silently and creeping around, and then into run and gun sections involving Russians. But then came the part I didn't like. Earlier in the mission, you plant charges on a bridge, and sure enough, towards the end, you have to shoot them to blow up the bridge. At this point, I had the PPSH, which is an assault rifle with not the greatest aim. However, after some attempts, I did manage to blow up the bridge, only to then get hit with an objective to blow up a tank. For those of you who haven't played this game before, to blow up a tank you need either a rocket launcher or to shoot the gas cap. Since there were no rocket launchers lying around, I spent over an hour trying to hit this tank, only to be hit with the reality that it just wasn't gonna happen, and even with my wife using the sniper, it still took a couple shots to land the finishing blow. So no, even after the prologue, you still can't beat the game without the sniper. But I still went on, fighting a small militia using mounted machine guns to complete the level. Continuing on to the next mission, I had to clear out a courtyard and take a position on top of a broken building. I bet you know where this is going, and sure enough, I had to stop an execution, and I did try to use my MP40, but between the range and not enough damage, I had to use the sniper once again. Not only that, but after you stop the execution, you had to then provide fire support to the VIP you just rescued, and I didn't have near enough ammo to do this, so I went sniper happy. But once the VIP was next to me, I then had to defend our position, and I was able to go back to using pistols and my assault rifle, but my contact died after trying to tell me their celebrity crush, so now I was off to the next mission. Next up was a nighttime mission, and it involved me making my way through a destroyed town to a bell tower. Only issue is, when I got there, the tower became under attack. No problem, I'll just head back down to fight the enemies head on. Oh, what's that? If I try to go down the tower, I fail the mission straight away? Yeah, it was time to snipe again. Now, don't get me wrong. I like this game. I like how sniping feels, and seeing the X-ray finishers is dope. But for the sake of the challenge, I hate these forced sections. But once the bad guys were dealt with, I made my way down the tower and finished the mission. Moving on, I ended up in a factory with Germans and Russians fighting throughout the town outside, but they were small fry compared to the fish I was chasing. I had to make it to the top of an artillery building and snipe across a giant gap to a radio tower. And I used the word snipe because there was no way I was hitting this shot with any assault rifle or pistol. But I did get a stick shot out of it, so I'm not upset. I don't even know if this is Guy or not. Oh, did I do it? Yep, that was objective. After that, it was business as usual as I mowed down the opposition and beelined for the exit. Moving back into the daytime, I was now in a blown apart town square and had to take out a tank. Only issue is, I still couldn't shoot the fuel cap. Really? That doesn't work? Luckily, I found a rocket launcher. Not only did it take out the tank, but it also took out some enemies that burst through a door. That was so bad! Oh my god, no! What the hell? I continued into the building and took out a high-ranking VIP, finding plans for a chemical compound that the Germans were putting into the V2 rockets. With the plans in hand, I made my way for the exit, but first I had to maneuver around and take out some snipers. For the most part, I was able to find them and get up close to take them out, but there was one that I'd have to snipe. There wasn't an option to do so otherwise. With the snipers dead, I was able to leave and proceed. Next came a mission of Attrition. I had to make my way to a building to get some plans, but to make it there I had to creep through underground tunnels and fight tons of enemies. Luckily, the pistol was a one-shot kill with a headshot, but the MP40 took anywhere from 6 to 8 bullets per person. This mission took a fair bit of trial and error due to running out of ammo and trying to lure enemies towards me, and just when I made it into the building to find my info, I was then tasked with heading back across the street only to have to fight more people. Not gonna lie, more trial and effort was needed here, but I did make it to the other side and found a map leading to a launch site of a V2 rocket. Now all I had to do was leave via the rooftops, and away I was. Now at said launch site, I had to stealth my way through soldiers, which is actually a super cool level. It has you avoiding enemies by crawling through trenches and silently taking out guards. Eventually I made it to a train station and had to hold my position while waiting for a rocket to fuel up. And when the rocket was done being fueled, it was time to set it off in the grandest way I could possibly imagine. Kaboom! At least I got to leave the mission on a bang. Finally, I was on the last mission, and we were back to where it all started. By that I meant we were at the prologue again, but whereas this mission may have started easy, it was far from prologue difficulty. At first I was moving up a street, taking cover where I could and moving in and out of buildings while taking down whoever was nearby, and after somehow surviving all the enemies and tanks, I made it into the final area of the game. A trek across no man's land awaited me, and I didn't make it in my first few attempts. But once I learned you could literally walk around all of this and make a run for the exit, I did just that, and while almost dead, I got the checkpoint. And now all that was left was to fire one more shot and end the run. But of course that one shot would be from a sniper rifle, but it was a pretty cool shot nonetheless. Who would have guessed a game designed for a sniper would actually make you use the sniper? Besides failing the challenge repeatedly, I did enjoy the playthrough, and next week we'll be moving back to Fallout 4 to attempt something I've never done before. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, and if you have a suggestion for a challenge run, make sure to leave it in the comments below. I try to do challenge videos once a week, so if that's something you'd like to see, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new videos. As always, I've been Chris from Krisis Gaming, and I will see you on the next one.